Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Sunday special. This week, we're going to be taking a look at my favorite, or my rating, of the Kyle Larson raced versions from 2021. Now that they are all here, and I finally got them all kind of situated, we're going to go ahead and take a look at all 12 raced version cars, 10 wins, an all-star win, and a raced version from Darlington, and we're going to see which one are my favorites. Now, we are going to separate the first one. This is going to be kind of an honorable mention, but this is the Darlington car. We're going to go with this one first, just because it wasn't a race win. So I want to throw it in there just for fun, because it's a really cool car, but because he didn't win, it's a little different. I do have the pin for that, so I always like to add those. Oops, and there I dropped it. But I always like to add the pins up next to them. This pin is actually something that is on the website, so if you're looking for this, I have that, and I still have a couple of these on hand as well. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at this car. Why this car? You know, what's so cool? Well, playoff markings, I'm always a huge fan of those. But the biggest thing, I mean, let's not cut to the chase. It's this. This right side looks absolutely fantastic. It was a very memorable finish. He absolutely tore the car up. But the biggest thing is, like I said, it's not a win, so it kind of gets an honorable mention spot at the end because it's not really in that set. But I just figured I'd show it off because it is a really, really cool car. And Kyle Larson's the only guy so far that I know of that has had 2 second-place finish cars offered. So kind of neat. But anyway, yeah, so that's the kind of honorable mention number 1, which is the Darlington car, and the pin with it. Now, on to the raced versions. Now, the All-Star car is counted as one of them, so there's 11 race wins. I did count the All-Star car because he did win a trophy, all that kind of stuff. And the first car, the first car that we're going to show is a car that he won with midway through the season. It was his 5th, I believe, win of the year, if I'm not mistaken. And it was the car he won with at Watkins Glen. Let me grab it here. There we go. And there we go. So there's the Watkins Glen car. I actually have the event pin for this as well. Those are on the website too. So you can see the Go Bowling at the Glen. And this car, just not a lot on it. You know, you look around it, it's really clean. There's no confetti. You look at the right side, also really clean. You look at the nose, a little bit of tape, but otherwise really, really clean. So the biggest thing on this car was just it was so clean. There just wasn't a ton to it. I mean, you know, you look at how the front looks, how the sides look. Just a very clean car. So because it's so clean, there's not a ton to it. And that's why this one comes in at number 11, because again, just the lack of raced things involved with this one kind of put it there. So even though it is a road course car, has a windshield and that kind of stuff, didn't quite make it into the top 10. Now the number 10 car on this list is surprisingly another road course car. This is going to be his Sonoma race win. And this race win has a little bit more. You got a little bit more on the window there, a little dirtier on the front. You can see a little bit of dirt kind of up against the nose here. And on the right side, you can see a little bit more as well. But it is still very minor compared to some of the other wins. It does have a windshield wiper as well. But, you know, overall, just top to bottom, memorable race, but the raced version, just pretty bland. There's not a ton to it. So, there was something going off in the background. So anyway, yeah, there's just not as much to this car. So it comes in at the number 10 spot. Now moving on to the number 9 spot, this is where we start to get into at least a little bit of fun. Oh wait, I forgot to show you one thing. We also do have this. This is the Save Mart 350 pin for that car. Unfortunately, I don't have any of those. Now, on to the next car. What comes in at the number 9 position? Well, this one, to no one's surprise, most likely, the Texas All-Star win. Now, because it is Texas, it is awful. Everything that is Texas is awful. But we do have the All-Star pins, which is pretty cool because, like I said, I got all the pins for these, it's just a neat set. So yes, this is the All-Star win from Texas from early in the season. It does have the taller spoiler. You do see a little bit of Texas-shaped confetti. There's the roof camera. You can see down the side, not a lot of rubber buildup. You see on the nose, not really a lot of stuff on here. A little bit on the right front, maybe. You can go with that. A little bit there, a little bit on the right side. But otherwise, it's all clean. And even when there is confetti, it's not really all that much. So it really doesn't look that great. It's not a terrible race win. It's just a matter of there are better race wins coming down the line. So, yeah, this one ends up getting ranked in the number 8 position for Texas. So right now we've had 2 road course cars and a Texas car. So, I mean, it's not that surprising considering some of the other races he won, and obviously we'll get into those next. So, coming in at number 7, guess what, guys? It's another Texas car. This one is going to be his Texas playoff car, and you can see here there's the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 500 presented by Auto Trader. Now I can say it. So I got that pin. Those are on the site. So the only one so far I haven't had on the site is the Sonoma. But this one, yeah, basically we do have a burnout here, so you do get some detail finally, but there's a little bit of confetti, not much. You can see very clean on the front end. As I said, this burnout wheel here is probably the biggest thing. You do get a little bit of detail on that. And then playoff banner and playoff spoiler, that is a big help as well. So between those two things, that's kind of where all of the fun stuff's at. You can see the right side, there's really not much over here. It's all the only big thing on this car that's really nice is definitely this right here, having that burnout tire, and then also having the playoff banners. So those are the two things that kind of make this one better. Coming at number 7, but or maybe not. Is it number 7? 2, 3. No, sorry, at number 8. This is number 8. The other one was number 9 so far. This is number 8. So far in the first 11, or in the top 4 of the 11, whatever you want to call it, we've had 2 road course cars and 2 Texas cars. So can't get worse. We've literally taken care of all the bad stuff. But again, I don't know if this one is necessarily the worst. I just put it here because it's Texas, and again, the detail outside of this one spot for the burnout was not that great. And again, these are not bad cars. The Texas car is still a very fine diecast. It's just when you put it up next to this one, which is his first win in the number 5, here you actually get a chewed up tire on this fender, so that helps. A little bit of build up there, black and yellow confetti. This is from the Pennzoil 400 to start the year. And then you go to the right side and you can see a lot more build up here on this right front corner, also on the right front fender. So you can see a lot more build up on here. Obviously, we don't have playoff banners, so that part's a little bummer, but you can see a little bit more rubber buildup on the nose of the car. So I do kind of like this one a little bit better. Here is the Pennzoil 400 pin. I also have a few of these, so that's kind of cool, but you can see the very nice-looking Pennzoil pin. And that's why that one comes in at the number 7 spot. Good car, solid. I always love chewed up tires. So chewed up tire really is probably the only thing that really set it over the Texas one. But yes, this one I will put in the number 7 spot over the Texas. But I couldn't quite put it ahead of our next car, which is the number 6 position, or our 6th best race win for Kyle Larson, the Nashville one. So the Nashville one has actually a couple of different pin options. It came with this one here, which was, oh my gosh, camera focus. Just for the lulls, focus pocus. There we go. The inaugural race. There we go. June 20th, 2021, the Ally 400. And we actually have the same exact logo, but with a guitar pick shape for the inaugural race. So same thing. So same logo, just has a guitar pick backing. So 2 different pins that were available with that car. Or not with the car, but 2 different pins from that race. So got both of those, both of them on the site. So pretty cool. Din number 3. I didn't realize I had such a low din. But anyway, this one you do have a chewed up tire here on the left rear and the right rear. So double chewed up tires. That's really the only thing that sets it up above. You can see it's pretty darn clean down the left side, but you can see here on the nose of the car, there you can kind of see it, all the rubber buildup and tape is very noticeable because the nose is white. So because of the white color on the front, it is noticeable that you can see all that buildup. You can see it here on the right front, there's a little bit. Not as much back here, but mostly up front. He did dominate this race. It was very one-sided, but it is a cool paint scheme as well. He only ran this car twice when he won, and so this was the first of those. And again, race detail looks pretty solid. The 2 chewed-up tires are really the biggest part of it. No confetti of any kind on this one, but this one will come in at number 6. Coming in at the number 5 spot, we have another road course win. This was the last road course win of the year. This is the Bank of America Roval 400, so we have the pin there. Again, I'll say it, available on the website, so those are an option if you have these cars and want to add your pin to that. But this one you can see we do have playoff banners. I've got a windshield. Here we actually have a decent amount of confetti, so that's pretty cool. The cool story about it was he did have to replace a belt midway through the race and was able to drive back through the field and get the win. Other big part of this car that makes it kind of a must-have is this pink window net. It's the only car to have a pink window net from 2021. Kind of a cool story. First time that they've ever had the pink window nets, and so kind of a neat race win. Obviously, I wish it would have been Chase Elliott's win, but the Harvick thing happened, so Larson was able to get that win. But you can see the pink window net does look pretty darn cool. I think that's the biggest draw to this car. If it didn't have a pink window net, it probably wouldn't be this high. Confetti's solid, that kind of stuff. You can see the race detail on it. It's not all that impressive, but that pink window net is really the biggest selling point to this car, and that's the only thing that really pushed it up into the top 5 was the pink window net. Without the pink window net, it probably wouldn't have been this high, but it's so unique that it's kind of a must-have in my opinion. Now moving up to the number 4 position, we have a car that is a crown jewel race. This was the Metrotech Coke 600 car with the pin. I don't have any extras of these, unfortunately. A very cool pin, though. I love having all these race win pins for his championship year. I just think that's super cool. But you can see the Metrotech one, a little dirty on the nose. You can see kind of the buildup here after 600 miles around the Charlotte Motor Speedway. We also have the cool tires here. They say honor and remember, and so you can kind of see the different tires that were run over the Memorial Day weekend. Also, you do have the unique banner. Instead of it being a regular Cup Series banner or the name banner, we get the unique banners with different fallen soldiers on the Memorial Day weekend. So they do have that. You can see on the nose again, there you can see the kind of buildup all around there. So pretty dirty. It is a white nose, so it is pretty easy to see. You can't really see much on here, so it's tough to see a little bit on the corner panel, I guess. But really this one, it's about having the custom banner, and it is a Coke 600 car. So this one, I would say the race detail isn't what's elevating it. This one is the significance of the race, which is the Coke 600, and the unique paint scheme. Metrotech being on this, this is the only race they were on, I believe, and so having the race version, this is the only one they have as far as for the raced version. And yeah, I think the Coke 600, that's the only thing really keeping it here. The race detail probably isn't the biggest part. Like I said, it is a little dirty, so it's kind of nice that way, but this car is elevated mostly by the significance of the win and the significance of this specific race. So yeah, I could totally see this car being way further down if you're just looking at race detail, but these are my personal favorite top 10s, so I could easily see this one being moved around in the order, when you position it based on race detail and stuff. Now moving on to our top 3. Now these top 3, I'm gonna admit right off the bat, the first car that I bring out is probably realistically number 1 as far as the must-haves, but in my opinion, they're not going to be in that top. It's not going to be in the top because of a very specific reason. So we're going to bring it up here. This car is the one he won with at the Phoenix International Raceway. This is his championship winning car. Obviously, cool, amazing burnout here. I will say one thing I'm disappointed with, no chewed up tire here on the rear. Very disappointed. We do have a flat spot. That's, I guess, something, but you can see, look at how chewed up that fender is. Rubber marks all over it. It looks like the fender's wrinkled inward. You can see we've got confetti. We got the bright yellow banner spoiler. You can see the confetti all over the top of the car. Go over to the right side. We even have a little bit of a flare in here where some flat tires got to it, but unfortunately neither of the tires are chewed up, which is just kind of a bummer. Right side looks pretty clean. You can see on the nose a little bit of buildup. A lot of confetti though. You can see the HendrickCars.com. So a lot of confetti on this one. It's very confetti heavy, I guess. I do have a couple of pins for this one, which I'm pretty proud of. You can see here we got the oh my gosh, come on, there we go, season finale 500, November 7th, 2021. But the better pin, in my opinion, is this one here. It says Championship Weekend Phoenix. There we go. Championship weekend for Phoenix in 2021. I think this looks pretty cool as well. So 2 really cool pins to go with this one. Like I said, this one's probably the most significant to most people. The only reason this one doesn't come in the top 2 positions is literally because I watched the other 2. Otherwise, I would probably put this one at least in the top 2, if not number 1. But again, because this is my top 10, it goes in at the number 3 position. Now, coming in at the number 2 position is going to be the race I witnessed in Kansas City, Kansas. This is the Kansas race win. I have this little pin here. I actually have one of these on the site still. But you can see I've got the Hollywood Casino pin, and then this is the race I got to see from Kansas, so obviously this one is very significant to me because I was there. Very cool race win, though. This Kansas win is very underrated. It has a lot of scrapes here. The right side, a lot of guys, because of the wind that day, were getting into the wall. A lot of scrapes here on the right fender, on the right front fender, and then again on the rear, and it was just an issue for a lot of cars that day. They were getting to the wall. A little bit of confetti, not a ton. You can see the banner looks pretty darn cool with the lack of confetti. I guess you can see a real solid banner and spoiler, so it's really noticeable. And then you can actually see on the name rail here, we've got, there we go, Greg Big Bear Fornell. That was a kind of a, ovarian cancer thing, I think, for the Sherry Strong Foundation. You can see the cancer ribbon. And you can see all the race win stickers. But like I said, this one, I would say race detail, maybe not crazy. I will say this is a really underrated car in terms of the race detail. The fenders being scratched from the wall, the lack of confetti almost making it look better because you don't have to worry about too much, kind of making it dilute, so you can't, so that you're not seeing all the good detail on it. But again, because I was there, this one gets kind of artificially bumped high. I would say this one ranks probably just above the Las Vegas win, maybe just above the Nashville win. That would put it in about 5th or 6th, maybe. So it's second on my list because of the significance to me, but I would say in its regular spot, it would be about 6th on the list. But again, this is my opinion, so this is something you guys can debate in the comments. Now, on to our last one, the favorite, the best car, in my personal opinion. And it was because it was a most memorable race for me. It was an amazing race, an amazing car, top to bottom, just a fantastic car. This is the best. It's the greatest car. I'm going to trumpet. But anyway, this is the Bristol win from the Bristol Night Race. You can see here, I do have the pin, September 18th, 2021, Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race. And like I said, I was at this race. It was a fantastic race, super entertaining. Start to finish. Obviously, this is the Elliott Harvick storyline and everything with this car, but the paint scheme looks really good. The banners obviously are a great option or a great part of that car as well. You can see, look at all the buildup on the nose of this car. The hood is covered. Look at the nose. Just a lot of buildup there. You go to the right side and you can see we got some different tire marks here on the rear fender. You can see rubber particles and just all the buildup all down the right side. Looks really, really good. This car, in general, is a very raced up car. Look at this. Goodyear lettering's missing on that tire. Looks like the other two tires had it, but just raced up. It's a Bristol car, so they always get raced pretty darn good. And I think the biggest drawing point for me was obviously very memorable for me. I don't know if it would be the most raced version of the year. I would probably honestly put it, though, in the top 2. In terms of raced in significance, it might go 3rd behind the Coke 600. It might go Phoenix, Coke 600, then this one. But if I had to put it in just overall significance, it would be still a top 3 car. But because I was at the race, this one does get elevated to the number 1 position. And so this one ends up being number 1 on my list. And, it's my opinion, so I can do what I want with it. Now, I am going to lay these out in kind of an order as best I can. I guess I'll start with number 11, and then we'll move forward. We'll start with the honorable mention, and then we'll just sort of move them forward from there. We'll put the honorable mention in the back so you can see the good stuff. And then we got number 11 is the Watkins Glen win. Number 10 is the Sonoma win. Number 9 is going to be the Texas All-Star win. Number 8, I'm going to actually put the pins on the roof. Yeah, let's do that. So this is kind of a final thing. You don't have to do, or I don't normally have to do this kind of stuff, but it's a little fun for me. So we're going to put that one in front. We got the Texas one here. We've got the Sonoma one here. Let's see. We got to move a couple more in. Oh my gosh, I am not going to have enough room. So we're going to have to slide some stuff down. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So we are going to actually expand outside of the regular booth. Let's see. This one is going to be the Texas car. So we got Texas all playoff here. Then we're going to have the Las Vegas win here. That's Las Vegas is coming in at number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this comes in at number 7, yes. So there's number 7. Number 8 or number 6 is going to be over here, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to think how I can put these down without making too big a problem out of it. It's hard. There's a lack of space. I want to try and get a good group shot for y'all, but it's kind of tough. All right, so number 6. Number 5. We're into the top 5. We're going to go with the Charlotte Roval. Yeah, we'll just keep, I don't know. Maybe I'll start putting pins on the roof. That way they can, I can stack these cars closer together. I'm telling you, I'm going to make a cool picture here. You guys are going to like it. So, yeah, sorry, I tried. I'm trying to make a cool picture, I should have said. There we go. All right, now we go with this one here. That's the Roval. Get the pin for that. So yeah, we're doing those on the roof so that way I can actually make it work, because otherwise there's literally just not going to be enough room. So yeah, this picture is going to be fun. All right, so that's number 5. Number 4 right here, the Coke 600. Like I said, these are my opinions. I could totally see if somebody came to me with an argument that the Coke 600 is not number 4. It should be number 2, significant, race. It's a crown jewel, all that. I am totally on board. I totally get it. I just think my personal opinion, I can put it where I want. I'm going to put it there just because I did get to go to those other 2 races. I obviously have a lot of memories from those races, which make it kind of, I guess, more significant to me for that reason. So let's slide that in, see if we can get a little closer, about there. All right, let's grab those 2 pins. Almost there. So you guys are going to get to see me take the thumbnail shot and then wrap the video up. But yeah, just just honestly, it's a cool set of cars. I definitely don't think, if I could just keep it there, it'd be nice. I definitely don't think this is something that everyone's going to want to do, especially if you're not a huge Kyle Larson fan, or especially if you're like not a Hendrick fan. That wouldn't be an ideal situation. But I really, really like this whole set. I have a lot of Kyle Larson's wins. I think I have all of his Cup wins. And it's because, obviously, as a guy that has started to really grow fond of the sprint car world, his name obviously is a huge part of that world. So it's definitely something I track more now than I ever have in the past, and that does make it a little more noticeable. We'll just stick it right here behind the antenna. And the very last one is going to be the Bristol win. Look at this mess of cars. I got literally 12 cars piled into this tiny square. I can't wait to upgrade desks. Once I have a big enough desk, I can put as many cars as I want on it. That's going to be fun. All right, there we go, guys. All right. So there you have it, guys. That is all 12 of the Kyle Larson raced versions from last year with their pins. I'm very proud of this collection. Let me know what your thoughts on this collection are, though, guys. I always love to hear your guys' feedback and hear what you think. If you're looking for any of these cars, you can find them at rasdiecast.com. I say that as there might be some available. I know I'm out of the Las Vegas Elites. No, I think I have that one. There's one of them I'm missing. I don't have enough of. So I have most of these on hand, and I have a good chunk of the pins as well, but you can find them at rasdiecast.com. Use the promo code RACECRAZE, though, to get yourself a discount at checkout. That's just to support the channel. Thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the Sunday special, and we'll see you tomorrow with our next Diecast review.